Okay, welcome to my new show. You should read this. This is where I convince my best friend Mav to read this book using only 1-star reviews. Our first book is The Goblin's Bride, also known as A Feud So Dark and Lovely.
Like,
This
what
is the
even
first
is
of the
this
series.
title? The Goblin's Bride?
Correct.
What is this? The Goblin's Bride? Who
Well,
would even
okay.
marry a goblin?
Well, it's about this girl, and so it's a female main character, and she believes that the goblin has murdered her sister, and so she's been plotting her whole life to get back at him, and she realizes she has a chance. So, in order to restore peace in between the goblins and the humans, they are going to send a human bride over as like a gift, a sacrifice to the goblin prince. And so she's like, I'm going to do it. So she takes down every other girl on her way over there. But then when she gets over there,
Oh my God.
she's like, wait, he's not a savage. And also, he can't be killed. So she's like stuck with him. And so she's trying to figure out how she can kill him. And while she's doing that, they're slowly falling for each other, but he's really grumpy.
That is your kind of book.
Oh, it was
Like a
literally great.
grumpy character somewhere.
Yes. Yes.
Anytime I read a book and there's like an old grumpy guy, I'm like, Snack would love this.
I love that. Yeah, I love a grumpy guy. So let's get started with these reviews. Review number 1. These are all 1-star, real 1-star reviews that I will be utilizing to now convince Matt to read this. This was insufferable. I suffered along with them with their suffering. You know, you need to like a little bit of pain to like this book. We're disregarding that review.
Wait, no, but I do love some suffrage. I
Exactly.
don't love, like, this is why I love D&D, because you can roll bad even if you are God.
Yes.
So I love a
Pain
challenge
and
for
suffering.
people.
Exactly. This person says, I don't know where to start other than I'm glad I got this for free because I'd be pissed as hell if I actually spent money on this. I also got this book for free on like Stuff Your Kindle, and I was thrilled personally. I was thrilled that I got this for free, and I probably would have paid a couple dollars for this. It was excellent entertainment.
The way
Disregarding.
that you will just read anything for free on the Stuff Your Kindle, even if it's
Yes.
like low star, not star, like,
I don't
do
even
you
check the
gravitate
stars.
towards the cover or the title, or
The title, and then I'll kind of glance at
kind
the
of the
cover.
premise?
And then if I'm not sure, if I need like a little bit more information, then I'll just read the little description and then I base it off of that. So I'm like, grumpy guy? Yes. And excellent. Literally, excellent. Unfortunately, one of the other 1-star reviews says, world building who? We don't know her. There
The
was world building.
the
It
world
was
doesn't
just
matter. It's
bad.
about people. It's about between the two of them.
Correct. See, you're already on the right side of this. You're on the right side of this.
It's like
It says the
reality
chemistry.
TV, right? Like they're stuck in a house, but there's a lot of shit going on.
It's going down. There's no time to build the world, okay? They're at war and she's trying to get her revenge. Okay? We already learned she's been planning her whole life. Okay? Let's just sprint through the current scenario. The chemistry between the leads was non-existent. That's not true. He was just grumpy. Okay, he just needed a minute.
Was he
Mav
old?
too needs a minute.
Is he
No.
old?
Well, I mean, he lives a long time, kind of like an elf, right? So like, kind of, but not really, right?
Sure, like he's
You
like
know?
middle-aged in his way, but he's
Yes.
like 100 and something.
Yes. And I think that that's what's happened. You know what I mean? Like
That's
Mav
what it
needs a moment
takes.
to like somebody too.
That's what it takes to just be a decent dude is you have to be older. Sorry, guys.
Actually, actually, this person said it felt like a book, enemies to lovers romantasy, and they hated it. Personally, I love that. We're also disregarding that. People like that. Mav, you will like that. Okay?
Okay.
It's gonna be great. Okay. They said, I was hoping this would be at least fun, but it wasn't. It was very fun. It's fun for me.
Is
Mav
it
would say it's not fun for me.
It's not fun. Is it
Hard.
like comedic? Are there like moments
No.
of no?
I
Just
don't
straight up
well,
no.
well, I,
No, not funny. Just grumpy.
just grumpy.
Does she make fun
Just
of him?
yes.
They
Yes.
argue about
Yes.
dumb stuff,
Yes.
about like mundane things.
Anything.
Yeah,
Yes.
everything.
Yes. Actually, at one point they like get in a tiff and then she like runs away and he's like, "Wait, no, I'm like sorry." And then he like tries to contact her through the dreams and she's like, "You're not sorry, you suck. That's not even real." And then when they finally get back together, he's like, "I tried to tell you," because he's not grumpy anymore.
Oh
And
my
it's like really, it
gosh.
was really sweet. I love it when they win over the grumpy guy, right? Just a grumpy guy. They said if I were Buddy reading this, I would have do not finished after the first chapter. No. Also, you know what? The first chapter is not a good amount for any book,
Well, the first chapter, I mean, you're
right?
right. Because like it's embarrassing sometimes. We've experienced
Yes.
big embarrassment in the first chapter.
Fourthwing, me
But
right now.
but like what happens in the first chapter? Is it just right into it or is she sort of like grumble bumble?
No, I think she's like bumbling around and you're getting the backstory, right? Like this is me, my sister was murdered. There's a
Set
war
the
going
scene.
on. Yeah, they're just setting the scene. From what I recall from the very first chapter. I don't judge a book on the first chapter personally. Sorry, I judge the book. I don't decide not to read it based off of the
We
first
judge
chapter.
everything here, okay?
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, but not really sorry. Um,
I'm sorry.
you know?
Is this goblin even sorry?
Yes, but not
Oh,
at first. Not at first. Not sorry. Like, not sorry.
she
But it's
does
like hella
something to make
cool.
him sorry. Is
Yeah,
it like Beauty and the
you would
Beast
like that.
where it's like Belle's not funny, but he thinks she's funny?
No, he thinks that she is annoying and dumb and she doesn't know any of the customs because it's like a totally different world. And so and then there's like a plight going on their side, right? So they have their own problems and she's kind of swept up in that. And then she sees like that he really cares about his people. So he's like, stay in the carriage. And then he goes out and like saves the day, right? And he's like buff and amazing,
But he's a goblin.
right? A grumpy goblin.
So
Okay. We have to
he's like a
remember
crooked green little goblin.
large brown goblin.
Oh, okay. Still a
Yeah.
goblin, so it's giving Shrek.
Yes.
It's like
Um,
it's like very Shrek.
to you, that's a goblin. To me, it's like bigger and hairier. In my
Like
mind,
an
it looks
orc.
more like
He's like
yes,
orcish.
to me, yeah, but like less disgusting though, because those
Sure.
guys are kind of
Stinky.
like really
Real
stinky, like
stinky. Like
yeah,
livestock stinky.
ew, yeah. Next, 1 star. The F word is used in the first 2 pages of the book. The F word is used in the first 2 sentences of all my pages with math.
Wait,
Doesn't
that's
matter.
true.
It's
No,
just
that
disregard.
wouldn't deter me. That wouldn't deter me.
I'm disregarding. She's going through shit, okay? She has problems. There are problems. She is expressing, she's, expressing her problems, you know? Another 1 star review. What the heck was actually happening in this story? You were totally swept up by it, okay? There was so much garbage spewed on the pages, and then it ends with no resolution whatsoever. It's called a cliffhanger. I can't believe I wasted time reading this.
Wait, there's a cliffhanger. No. Is it supposed
Okay,
to be is it like if this book does well, I'll write more vibe or
well,
is it like
I don't think so. So I will say that the cliffhanger at the end of the second book had me immediately opening up a tab to find out when it was going to come out because it was a good cliffhanger. It's supposed to evoke emotion, even if you're annoyed. Next 1 star review. Could the main character be any more insufferable? No spice, all annoying. Um,
that person is used to reading just like book corn. Like that's all they want. They just want a corny corn filled with some corn
listen,
book.
they get
No
there
plot, some
at some
corn.
point. At some point. But the story was really sweet. And I think it was really important because it leads into how they get there, right?
Yeah.
Like there's like this sort of tension at the start where it's like, I hate you, but like you're kind of hot. And no one's ever challenged him. And then she doesn't like him. She doesn't like him, right? So she's like being stinky. And he's like, oh, like no one's ever.
He's like I'm supposed to just marry you.
Yes.
Why are you
Yes.
talking?
I mean, okay, she was like a little bit annoying, but I don't think she was that annoying. Maybe if you're like really on the Goblin side, or the Goblin's best friend
Is
who
there,
also hates her.
is it just them kind of fighting in the cabin, or do they go through all kinds of stuff?
No, they're going through all kinds of stuff. The Goblin and his bride are trying to save his world from what's going on there. So they're having this problem. There's like this kind of smog, sort of fog overtaking their lands, and when people stay in it, they die. And so he's trying to protect their borders. There's also some greater political strife going on with his brother and his dad and the queen, which was really interesting, which is why I say hello the world building. It's just not the human world, right? It's like they kind of rush through the beginning to get her with the goblin, and
Sure.
then you get to learn about everything that's going on that side, which is more interesting anyways.
She's there
To
most
ask
of the
me.
time anyways.
Exactly. Exactly. See, you're getting it. You're on the right side already. You're moving in the right direction. Which brings me to our last one-star review.
Okay.
I absolutely love the idea of this book, but after 5 chapters, I just couldn't make myself keep going. The writing needs work. There's no story building, no character building. You're just thrown in and confused. I would argue that that happens in a lot of fantasy books because
It's a
they need more
world
time.
that's not real, so they're trying to explain in a way that you will understand
Correct.
what's
See, you
happening.
understand this. You love a grumpy guy. You even
I
told me that you
do.
have a children's book about a goblin who has no friends.
That's true.
So you
Nobody loves a
understand.
goblin.
And that's so sad because everybody's gonna love this goblin. So this is where I reveal the actual rating to you.
Okay, so these are
So,
all 1 star.
correct.
It's a 1 star. Okay, wait. It's giving like a two plus, maybe a 3 star.
Even with my selling. Okay.
But just from like what they're
That was
saying,
so
but they're
hard.
not really like scathing mad. They're just like annoyed because it's
Correct.
not like what they wanted it to be. But
Correct. They weren't like the writing is horrendous. It was a good story.
okay, what is the rating?
The rating is 3.99. The Goblin's Bride, A Feud So Dark and Lovely. An actual
Basically 4 star.
Literally
What?
4 stars. I'm telling you, it's an excellent book. And an actual 4-star review says, so good, I couldn't put it down. All the build up to the end was perfectly done. I didn't see it coming. And even though the cliffhanger was brutal, it was also fantastic, which is what I said. So, are you going to read it?
Okay, I'll read it.
Yes. Oh my
Okay,
God. It's
I will
great.
read
It's not
it
even that
and
long.
then I will tell you what I think of the bug.
Correct. Then we'll get a
We'll follow
review.
up.
Personally, I would give this book
Should I
I'd
read
give
it?
this book like almost 5 stars. It was awesome. I feel like the world building
Whoa.
was interesting. I
Because the
haven't
average
read
is four
anything like it.
star, the average. So most people offset the lower stars with a 5.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I feel like it was really unique. I've read a lot of books that are kind of modeled off of a different sort of style, right? Like a lot of Beauty and the Beast, like redone, right? Like Snow White kind of redone. This was very unique. I love that they still took like the female main character who's kind of like stubborn and
Pissed
stinky, and
off.
then exactly, and then the grumpy sort of prince, but it was a whole spin on that. And I found that really interesting and intriguing. And I wouldn't say that I ever watch, I read a lot of books on stuff for Kindle. And so if they're an unfinished series, I don't like put it on my calendar, watch when they're coming. I just think, oh, if this comes across, I'll read it. I would really like to see how this series ends.
Wow. Wow. Like
So if
your
you're
whole chest
if you're
saved
listening,
by the stuff your Kindle found a
mhm,
gem. That's really hard to
exactly.
do actually.
No, seriously, because I read a lot of those.
Actually, which is why the show began is because Snack reads so much stuff that I'm like, why are you reading that? And she's like, I can't stop looking at it.
This one was great. Also, I forgot to mention, shout out to Leigh Kelsey, the author of this book. My sincerest apologies for not mentioning you sooner. Great job. I loved it. Don't listen to those stinky 1-star reviews.
And if you like these sorts of mini little convince your friends to read a book based on 1-star ratings, make sure you subscribe and let us know.
Yeah. Tune in for our next time at You Should Read This.